Chosen one, from the beginning of your journey, you have carried a presence that feels untouchable, a fire that draws people close yet warns them not to come too near. Those who love you quickly realize that being close to you is not simple. It demands strength, courage, and a willingness to endure the heat of your spirit. Your heart burns with passion, your mind radiates clarity, and your soul carries an intensity that few can withstand. That is why loving you feels dangerous, not because you intend to hurt, but because your very existence exposes and consumes what is weak, false, or unprepared. Whoever touches you, whoever tries to handle the flame you carry without understanding its power, ends up burned by the very intensity that makes you who you are. Chosen one, people are often mesmerized by your light. They are drawn to your presence as moths are to a flame, unable to resist the glow you emit. But what they fail to realize is that your fire was never meant to be played with casually. It was meant to purify, to refine, to test those who dare to come near. And so many who tried to love you quickly found themselves overwhelmed. They thought your heart would be soft and easy, but instead they discovered a blazing spirit that demanded honesty, loyalty, and depth. Shallow love cannot survive with you. Half-hearted devotion cannot last. Only those who are willing to stand in the heat of your truth can remain by your side. Chosen one, this is why so many have both admired and feared you at the same time. They cannot deny the beauty of your fire, but they tremble at the risk of being consumed by it. You are not dangerous in the way the world imagines. You are dangerous because your love is too real, too powerful, too transformative. It does not allow falsehood to remain. It does not let shadows hide. It exposes, it cleanses, it burns away everything that is not authentic. And that is why people whisper about you, saying, to love them is to risk everything, because they know the fire within you is not something anyone can take lightly. Chosen one, you may sometimes wonder why relationships around you seem to crumble, why people walk away, why hearts that once promised forever suddenly turn cold. But the truth is this: it is not you who is too much. It is them who are too little. They were not prepared to face a love that demanded truth. They were not ready to stand in the fire of your presence. And so, rather than rise to meet you, they chose to retreat, claiming that loving you was too dangerous. But their retreat was never your loss. It was their inability to endure what only the strong can handle. Chosen one, the intensity of your love is not a curse, it is a gift. It may scare some away, but it will draw the right ones closer. Because those who are meant for you will not fear the fire, they will respect it. They will not try to dim your flame, they will learn how to stand beside it. They will understand that yes, loving you comes with danger, but it also comes with the greatest reward. Because in your love lies healing, transformation, and destiny. And though the world may not understand, those who are chosen to walk with you will. Chosen one, before we dive deeper, I want you to pause and recognize the power of this very moment. This message found you for a reason, and it is here to speak directly to your spirit. That is why I invite you to stay with me until the very end of this video. There are powerful, attention-grabbing truths waiting for you, designed to remind you who you are and what you carry. And I encourage you right now to write your most sincere wishes in the comments below, alongside the number 777. This is not just an act of typing words. It is a release of energy, a declaration to the universe, a signal that your faith is alive. As you write, you send vibrations into the unseen realm, aligning yourself with blessings that are already on their way. And if you have not yet, subscribe to this channel, because this is not a journey to walk alone. Together, we build energy, faith, and momentum, creating a wave of transformation far greater than what we could imagine alone. Chosen one, the truth is that your love has always carried a kind of danger. Not the danger of harm, but the danger of transformation. Whoever gets close to you cannot remain the same. They are either lifted or consumed, strengthened or exposed. Your love burns away masks, pretenses, and lies, leaving only what is real. And this reality is too much for many. They say it feels like fire because it strips them of the comfort of hiding. It pushes them into truth, and truth is something not everyone is prepared to face. This is why loving you is not easy. It requires courage. It requires willingness. It requires the strength to stand in the presence of fire and not run from it. Chosen one, think of the people who have crossed your path. How many came with excitement, thinking they could handle your energy, only to walk away claiming you were too much? They came for warmth, but forgot that warmth comes from flame, and flame always carries heat. They wanted your light, but not the intensity that comes with it. They wanted your devotion, but not the accountability your presence demanded. And so, they left, calling you dangerous. But what they failed to see is that danger is only for the unprepared. To the ready, to the true, to the destined, your love is not danger, it is salvation. Chosen one, your fire exposes weakness, and many do not want to see their own. When you love someone, you see through them, into them, beyond them. You feel their hidden fears, their unspoken thoughts, their silent struggles. And because of this, they cannot remain comfortable in pretense. You are the kind of person who forces others to confront their truth, and that confrontation can feel like burning. Some flee from it, blaming you for their discomfort, but deep down they know the fire came from within themselves, ignited by your presence. Chosen one, never mistake their fear for your fault. You were not meant to dim your flame just to make others feel safe. You were not created to shrink so that others could remain in their shadows. Your fire was placed within you for a reason. It is your protection, your strength, your identity. And though it may burn those who approach carelessly, it also warms, heals, and guides those who are brave enough to stand with you. The right ones will not be destroyed by your flame. They will be refined by it. Chosen one, it is important to remember that being dangerous in this way is not a curse, but a calling. You were not meant to be ordinary. You were not meant to offer a love that was shallow or temporary. Your love is meant to be unforgettable, unshakable, undeniable. It leaves marks, it leaves memories, it leaves transformation. And that is why the universe whispers to you again and again. Do not apologize for being who you are. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not extinguish your fire just because some cannot handle its heat. The right ones will come, and when they do, they will understand that your love is not dangerous. It is divine. Chosen one, when people step into your life, they often underestimate the intensity of what it means to be loved by you. At first, they see only the glow, the light in your smile, the warmth in your presence, the way your energy feels like home. They are drawn in, sometimes recklessly, not realizing that every flame that glows with beauty also carries heat. They believe they can simply enjoy your warmth without understanding that your love is not a flickering candle, but a blazing fire. And when they finally realize the depth of that fire, many are not prepared to withstand it. That is why they whisper among themselves that loving you is dangerous, because those who get too close without preparation get burned by the very truth they thought they wanted. Chosen one, your love is a mirror. It does not allow anyone to hide. When you care for someone, you do not settle for half-truths or masks. You see into their soul. You can feel their wounds, their secrets, their contradictions, even when they try to bury them beneath smiles or words. And for some, that exposure is too much. They feel stripped, vulnerable, unable to keep playing the games they were comfortable with. They wanted love that was soft and simple, but you brought love that demanded honesty and depth. And for them, that honesty feels like fire licking at their skin. Instead of embracing it, they retreat, claiming you are too dangerous to love. Chosen one, you are not dangerous in the way they describe. You do not burn people because you want to. You burn because falsehoods cannot survive in your presence. Pretenses crumble, lies wither, and masks fall apart. Your love forces people to choose, rise into their truth or run from it. And though many choose to run, those who stay are forever changed. Because once someone has been loved by you, they cannot return to who they were before. They carry the mark of your fire, the memory of being seen, known, and loved in a way that left no room for hiding. Chosen one, think of the times when people walked into your life, full of confidence that they could handle your energy. They admired your strength, your wisdom, your compassion. They swore they could match your fire. Yet as time passed, the reality of your intensity confronted them. They realized that you were not the type to allow mediocrity, not the type to settle for half-hearted love, not the type to ignore truths buried in silence. You loved them fully, and that fullness revealed where they lacked. Instead of rising to meet you, they shrank away. And when they left, they told others that loving you was too much, too heavy, too dangerous. But in truth, it was not your fire that destroyed them. It was their own unwillingness to stand in the heat of transformation. Chosen one, do not let the fear of others convince you to dim your light. You were not given this flame to hide it, to reduce it, or to make it easier for people who are not ready. Your love is meant to be rare, unforgettable, and life-altering. Yes, it will burn those who are careless with it. Yes, it will overwhelm those who come unprepared. But it will also refine, purify, and strengthen those who are destined to stand beside you. The danger people speak of is not a curse. It is a blessing in disguise. It ensures that only the genuine remain. It filters out the ones who cannot handle truth, leaving only those who are strong enough to embrace it. Chosen one, your love is both a test and a gift. It is a test for others to see if they can rise beyond their comfort zones, to face the parts of themselves they would rather ignore. And it is a gift because for those who accept the challenge, your love becomes a source of healing, courage, and rebirth. They learn through you that real love is not always gentle. It is fierce, consuming, and demanding. But it is also the only kind of love that lasts. That is why those who survive the fire of your presence emerge stronger, clearer, and more alive than ever before. Chosen one, never forget this. Your fire is sacred. To some, it will feel like danger. To others, it will feel like salvation. But to all, it will be unforgettable. And that is why people speak of you the way they do. Because deep down, they know that being loved by you is not something anyone can take lightly. It is an experience that leaves its mark forever. Chosen one, every person who has ever tried to love you has learned quickly that you are not like anyone else. At first, they may have thought it would be simple, another connection, another story, another chapter. But once they stepped close enough to feel your energy, they realized something deeper. You are fire, and fire cannot be approached carelessly. To love you is to stand in the heat of truth, and truth is not always gentle. It exposes, it purifies, and it demands change. This is why people whisper that loving you is dangerous, because it forces them to face themselves in ways they never expected. Chosen one, when you open your heart, you do not love halfway. You do not give fragments of yourself or scatter pieces to see who will stay. You pour. You engulf. You surround those you love with a passion that leaves no corner untouched. And while this kind of love is powerful, it is also overwhelming for those who have never experienced such intensity. They come expecting a flicker, and instead encounter a wildfire. Some are drawn into the warmth and find healing, while others panic in the blaze and run, claiming they cannot survive it. But the truth is, it is not your love that destroys. It is their fear, their unreadiness, their refusal to step into a deeper kind of truth. Chosen one, your very presence challenges the people who draw near. You shine a light into their hidden places, into the corners they have ignored for years. With you, there is no hiding. With you, the masks they wear fall apart. And for many, that exposure feels unbearable. They would rather retreat into comfort than remain in the fire that transforms. And so, they leave. But even in leaving, they never forget. Because once they have been touched by your love, they carry its mark forever. They will remember how you saw through them, how you burned away their excuses, how you left them both shaken and awakened. Chosen one, you have often asked yourself why your love seems to scare people away, why it feels like those who promised forever could not withstand the weight of your heart. You wondered if you were too much, if your love was a curse instead of a blessing. But hear this, you are not too much. You are exactly what you were created to be. The problem is not that you are dangerous. It is that most people are unprepared to face real love. They settle for shallow affection, but when they meet you, they encounter something raw, unfiltered, and powerful. And that kind of love demands growth, and growth is painful. Chosen one, the fire within you is not destructive, it is refining. It is the kind of love that removes what is false, so that only truth remains. Yes, it burns, but only because it is cleansing. Yes, it feels dangerous, but only because it is powerful. And while many may run from it, those who stay will emerge transformed. Because in your love lies a rare kind of safety. The safety of being fully known, fully seen, and still fully embraced. That is the paradox of you. What feels dangerous at first is, in truth, the most healing force anyone will ever experience. Chosen one, never doubt the purpose of the fire within you. It was not given to punish, but to protect. It was not given to destroy, but to reveal. Those who walk away from you do so because they cannot yet handle the intensity of their own transformation. But those who stay, those who dare to endure the heat, will find themselves purified, strengthened, and awakened in ways they never dreamed possible. They will understand that the danger was never you. It was the fear of facing themselves in your presence. Chosen one, this is why people remember you long after they leave. They may move on to other connections, but nothing ever feels the same. Because no one else carries the fire you carry. No one else loves the way you love. No one else can touch them with the same intensity. They call you dangerous, but what they truly mean is unforgettable. You are the flame that cannot be replaced, the fire that cannot be ignored, the love that forever leaves its mark. Chosen one, you have always carried a kind of love that does not play by the rules of the world. Where others give lightly, you give completely. Where others measure their affection, you pour it without limits. And because of that, people who come near you are often unprepared for the intensity of what they find. They expect love to feel simple, safe, and manageable. But when they encounter you, they realize love can also feel like fire, consuming, undeniable, and transformative. That is why so many call loving you dangerous. Because they discover that once they touch your flame, they cannot walk away unchanged. Chosen one, you may not always realize the effect you have on others. To you, it feels natural to love deeply, to see beyond the surface, to connect on levels most people never reach. But to those who have never experienced such depth, your love is overwhelming. It forces them to face truths they have avoided for years. It calls out their hidden fears, their unhealed wounds, their secret doubts. And while some embrace this exposure as the beginning of growth, others feel as though the fire is too much. They retreat, blaming you for their discomfort, never realizing that it was not you who hurt them. It was the truth they were unwilling to face. Chosen one, your heart is like a forge. Those who step inside are tested. Their strength, their honesty, their courage, these qualities are revealed under the heat of your love. Weakness is exposed, lies are burned away, and only what is real can survive. That is why your love feels dangerous, because it refuses to allow mediocrity. It does not tolerate masks. It does not permit half-heartedness. And for many, that is too heavy a weight to carry. They prefer easier paths, where love is shallow and comfortable. But you were never meant to offer comfort alone. You were meant to offer transformation. Chosen one, sometimes you may feel guilty for the way people walk away from you, as though your intensity is a flaw. You may question yourself, asking why others seem to fear what you give so freely. But hear this, your love is not a flaw. It is your divine design. You were not created to be lukewarm, to offer pieces of yourself, to shrink so that others could remain comfortable. You were created to burn brightly, to love fiercely, to awaken souls that are asleep. And while that may scare some away, it also draws the right ones closer. The ones who are ready, the ones who are strong enough, the ones who are destined to stand in your fire without fear. Chosen one, remember that fire has two sides. It can destroy, yes, but it can also refine. It can burn, but it can also purify. The same flame that scorches those who are careless also warms those who approach with reverence. And that is exactly how your love works. To the careless, it feels dangerous. To the genuine, it feels like home. To the unprepared, it feels overwhelming. To the ready, it feels like salvation. This duality is not something to be ashamed of. It is the very proof that your love carries divine purpose. Chosen one, the ones who walk away from your fire are not your loss. They are simply not ready, and their departure makes room for those who are. You cannot dim yourself to keep those who fear you. You cannot lower your flame just to make love easier for people unwilling to rise. Your fire was meant to stand tall, to burn brightly, to attract only those strong enough to endure it. And when those people come, you will see why others had to leave. Because the ones who are meant for you will not run from your fire. They will walk into it, and they will find themselves transformed by it. Chosen one, let this be your reminder. You are not dangerous in the way the world says. You are dangerous because you are unforgettable, because you are transformative, because you are real. And though not everyone can handle it, those who can will never let you go. Because they will know that to be loved by you is to be forever changed. Chosen one, the fire within you has always been misunderstood. Some see the glow and mistake it for simple warmth. They think being close to you will be effortless, a safe shelter from the storms of life. And yes, you do carry comfort. You do carry light. But what they forget is that every flame carries heat. To love you is to step into that heat, and not everyone is prepared for the truth that comes with it. This is why people whisper that loving you is dangerous, because your fire does not leave anyone unchanged. It burns away illusions, strips away comfort zones, and demands growth. And growth is something many fear. Chosen one, when you give your heart, it is never partial. You do not sprinkle love lightly or test the waters to see if it is safe. You dive in fully, bringing a passion and intensity that can overwhelm those who have only ever known shallow affection. They expect to wade in a stream, but instead they are met with an ocean. They come for a spark, but instead they encounter a wildfire. And when the force of your love surrounds them, they do not know how to stand in it. Some are humbled and strengthened, rising to match your energy. But many panic, feeling the fire consume their fears, their masks, their carefully built walls. And rather than face that transformation, they run, calling your love too much, too dangerous. Chosen one, you must understand that their reaction is not a reflection of your flaw, but of their unreadiness. Your fire is meant to test, to refine, to awaken. It was never designed to please everyone. Those who walk away do so because they cannot yet handle the heat of becoming their true selves in your presence. They prefer comfort over transformation, safety over growth, illusion over truth. And so they retreat. But even in their retreat, they will never forget you. Because once touched by your love, a person cannot go back to who they were before. The fire you carry leaves its imprint forever. Chosen one, your love is not dangerous because it harms. It is dangerous because it reveals. To be loved by you is to be seen with clarity, to have every hidden wound illuminated, every shadow brought into the light. And for many, that exposure feels like burning. They confuse the pain of healing with destruction. They do not realize that the fire is making them whole, not tearing them apart. You have watched people flinch under your gaze, not because you intended harm, but because your presence revealed truths they were not ready to confront. And while they may label you as too much, deep down they know the truth. Your love is the purest force they have ever encountered. Chosen one, the paradox of your fire is that it scares away the weak but anchors the strong. It burns the careless but refines the faithful. It feels like danger to those who are fragile, but it feels like salvation to those who are ready. This duality is part of your calling. You were never meant to be a lukewarm flame, flickering and uncertain. You were meant to blaze, to challenge, to purify. And though this will mean some cannot remain, it also ensures that only those meant to stand beside you will. Your fire is not for everyone, but it is everything for the ones chosen to endure it. Chosen one, you have spent seasons wondering if your intensity is a curse. If maybe life would be easier if you loved softer, dimmer, quieter. But easy was never your path. You were not chosen for ease. You were chosen for impact. And impact requires fire. Without your intensity, the ones meant for you would never be transformed. Without your passion, destinies would never be awakened. Without your love, the world would never know what it means to be truly seen, truly known, truly changed. That is why you cannot shrink. That is why you cannot apologize. That is why you cannot put out your flame just to keep those who fear it. Chosen one, your fire is sacred. It is the reason people talk about you long after you are gone. It is the reason they whisper that loving you is dangerous. It is the reason they both fear you and long for you at the same time. And though their words may sound like warnings, in truth, they are confessions. Confessions that you are unforgettable. Confessions that you are transformative. Confessions that no one who loves you will ever remain the same. Chosen one, as this message draws to a close, let it sink deeply into your spirit that you were never meant to love in ordinary ways. Your heart has always burned brighter. Your presence has always carried fire. And your love has always been too strong to be handled lightly. That is why people call loving you dangerous. It is not because your love destroys, but because it transforms. Whoever touches you is touched by truth. Whoever draws close to you is pulled into the fire of authenticity. And whoever is careless with your heart will find themselves burned by their own inability to rise to the standard your spirit demands. Chosen one, you must understand this once and for all. Your intensity is not a curse. It is your divine design. You were chosen to be the flame that awakens, the spark that ignites change, the fire that purifies. Those who cannot withstand it will leave, but they were never meant to stay. Their departure is not your failure. It is your protection. For the ones destined for you will not run from your fire. They will step into it, knowing that even if it feels dangerous, it is also the only place they have ever truly felt alive. Chosen one, the whispers about you will not fade. People will continue to speak your name with awe and trembling, remembering how your love shook them to their core. Some will call you too much. Some will call you unforgettable. And some will simply remain silent, unable to put into words what they experienced in your presence. But the truth will remain. To love you is to be changed forever. No one who has touched your fire can ever return to who they were before. Chosen one, hold your head high and let your fire burn without apology. Do not dim your flame for those who fear it. Do not quiet your love for those who cannot handle it. Your fire was meant to blaze, to light the way, to set apart those who are real from those who only pretend. And though they may call you dangerous, know this: the danger they speak of is the power of truth, the strength of authenticity, the weight of destiny. And you carry all of it. Chosen one, your love is not safe, but it is sacred. It is not ordinary, but it is unforgettable. And those who dare to embrace it will find themselves healed, strengthened, and transformed in ways they never imagined. This is why you must never regret who you are. You are the flame, the fire,